Hi everyone, it's Kat here. I just wanted to pop the video on as I've pretty much finished this bird themed journal. Quite haven't finished in the sense that I haven't got the closure done because I'm not quite sure yet how I want to do that. But yeah, it's pretty much done. So I thought I'd whip out the camera and do a bit of a flip through. So this is it. It's in the style of Mrs. Coggs. I did her, I can't think of the name of the actual course, but I have made it a little bit to my own style as well. So it is from her course, but it's got a few of my own little bits that I've incorporated into it. Firstly, it's a hard cover. It's about 5.5 inches by 9 inches. It's a fabric cover. Got a book plate with a dictionary, bit of wording underneath there which says inspire, and just backed with some burlap and then lace, and then just a little bit of trim, and then this beautiful fabric with the peacock on it. It was so pretty that I didn't even want to really do anything else with it. I've got this lovely tassel here that I also put together various laces and sari silk and bits of doily trim there, bits of edging and some eyelash trim there, just sort of a little bit of fabrics and textiles and things. And then this boho charm here that I made, and then there's the little bird and nest there charm with a little flower and just some little beads on the side there. So I was really pleased, and I finished off with a little bow on the top there. I just used one of these little brads with a little ring on the side of the spine there, and then I've just attached the charm, the tassel, with a lobster claw, so that can come off if you want to take it off. So this is a custom order for a friend of mine, and she's got someone special in mind to give this to. But yeah, I've never done a bird themed journal before, and I must say I actually really enjoyed making it, so I can see why they are popular. So I'll just open it up. So this is Artie May's paper here, just on the inside cover there. I've used Tyvek on the inside spine, and it's just a bit of card on the inside cover. I think this is Nature Walk. So there's 4 signatures, and gosh, I think there's about 160 pages in all. So it's quite a chunky book. So let's do a quick flip through. I'll be as quick as I can. I've got my button card on the inside there, which I love doing that now, and a little tag there and a little tuck spot. I've got some ledger papers, bird image there. A lot of these, a bit of lace tab that I've sewn on the edge. A lot of these bird images are just free public domain images that I've collected. So a little tag there with a little bee. I thought, oh, birds eat bees. So we've got a little bit of a vintage, just an old field guide book that I've put in there. This is some dictionary paper that I've aged up. The peacock there, and it's amazing how things turn out when I popped it in, and there it had a peacock on the other side there, which I kind of didn't realise until after I popped it in. So I've done some stenciling, a little bit of ruffle on the edge of the page there. Some old, this is like that old school book paper. It's a little bit thicker lining. Tea stained paper throughout. This is a vintage, from a vintage book. I think it's called The Songbirds. I can't remember now. There's a little tag there and a little bee, some stenciling. This is one of my tags that I made with an owl. Did some stitching and some stamping on the back. It's not ephemera,
I meant
but it's,
vellum.
similar
Sorry.
sorts of paper there. It's another tag that I made. Did some decoupage, some lace trim, and some cheesecloth, and just stitched around the edge. And then I lined it with some tea stained paper. And a nice lace pocket there. I was really pleased with how this turned out. I glued back the tag with this wildflower here, and then I fussy cut these birds out of the field guidebook that I had, and the colours just came together absolutely beautifully. Finished it off with the tag ribbon there. Love this stencil. I've used this a few times now, this owl stencil. More ruffling on the edge of the paper, some stamping, moth there, some eyelash trim. There's a map there. I think I got this off like the British Library public domain site, something like that. Of course, I've got my book charms that I always love. Haven't got to any yet. There's the middle of the first signature. This was a free download that some lady had posted on Junk Journal Down Under, and at the time I printed it off. This is just a little flash card that I thought was quite cute, that I picked up just on one of my shopping sort of ventures. This is a Mrs. Cogg's embellish. Oh, can't get that off. Here we go. Yeah, it's one of her embellished paper clips. It's got a bit of lace there, that's why it can't come off. So I may put that one together. And that's an old altered postcard that I did some decoupaging and put some lace on that. Let's see if I can put this back together quickly. It's got a little bird charm, little love hearts with a couple of birds there. Got that in some Happy Mail. That's from my friend Linda Hawthorne, actually. This was an image out of a little fairy book that I've got, and I thought it was really cute, little fairy on a branch with a bird, so yeah, I cut that out and popped that there. Some more tags, did some stamping, and this is one of those, well, I sort of followed Artie Maze's tutorial on her shabby chic envelopes, but I really liked her process, and so I thought it would be quite good to do these postcards that I do. And on the back there I just have some information and where you can find me, which I always pop into my journals now. This is another, this is one of those Tracy Fox swing tags with some vellum pieces in there. Some more vintage book page and some stenciling there. Some digital stamping, I love that one. Some bit of doily trim on the edge of the page. This is some vintage sheet music, the Stringy Bark Cockatoo, and it's a song which I thought was quite cute, very Australian, and had birds, obviously cockatoo themed. There's some more ruffling on the edge of the paper. I was sort of getting into that. I love stitching onto the page, but I sort of wasn't really keen on how it would come on the other side until I noticed in one of the videos along the way that someone had done this. So that's I've added some die cuts there. I like that die cut. Some more ledger paper, some stamping, and that's the second signature. This is more Artie May's paper there, digital download. Some more ephemera and coffee dye state paper. Now this is from a field book, from a bird field book. So the lady that this gift is going to, she actually belongs to a bird watching club, so I thought that would be a nice thing to include in there. And that's something new that I've started doing, is incorporating fabrics into my journals. So a couple more tags. The feather quill and the nib, love that stamp. And this one as well, I love this stamp as well. Okay, some music paper with some decoupage. More stenciling, and it's a little love heart with a flower there. I love the nest and the eggs. I'd like to get more of those images because I think they're just absolutely divine. Thought this was quite cute. Went through some of my old books, and you know, they're books that I've picked up in op shops, and specifically, you know, and some of them have already, like, obviously in the past, kids have like made cuttings out of the book and ripped out pages, so I don't mind sort of pulling them out, but I thought that was quite appropriate. Some kids there looking through their field glasses to watch the birds there, so I thought she would appreciate that. Let's pop that in there. Quite tired actually, it's a little bit late, so I thought I would get this video done. This is some card and envelope that I picked up along the way with these beautiful bird images. So this is quite vintage and quite old. There's my bird nest in the bushes there again. Some stenciling, lace doily there. It feels quite thick, but it's just the paper. Some more digital stamping there. So I didn't go ultra mad on the embellishments because I thought, you know, leave plenty of blank spaces for journaling or a bit of artwork. Some flash cards there. I love this, how that turned out. A ball pin and a little bit of trim from a doily down the side there. And there's a little bluebird there. Well, it's an old bluebird, but the shape of a bluebird, or a swallow, I guess. I found all the little quotes and poems and things, and yeah, that was a lot of fun looking those up. This is embossed with a, I don't know, I hope that turns out, but the lovely bird on a branch there. More stenciling and a raven there. Some, I think they're called band-aids. When you get a little, like when you do your tea staining or your coffee staining, and you get those little nooks in the paper, and yeah, you can repair them with what they call band-aids. And I think they look quite effective on the page, give it a bit of extra character. It's another tag that I made. some book pages and some images that I found, and some the other side of that field note there, and some, that's a plain card, and some stamping that I did on some tags, and another flash card there. And this is another one of those Tracy Fox hanging tags. I really enjoyed making these actually. And another bird playing card there with a vellum pocket. That's a vellum pocket. And that's a little bit of the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. Some book page there. Oops, I have to go back and glue that. There's another tag that I made. I made that quite some time ago, but yeah, insect, so I thought, oh well, birds eat insects, so I'll put that in there. I enjoyed making those. I'll make them again when I run out of them. More of that field note paper from the book page, stenciling. And quite sturdy books. They open up very nicely, lay flat. More little tags with a little bee and little moth there. Sorry if I sound a little bit flat. I am tired and my back's a little bit sore too, so sorry about that. And a couple of little tags that have bird cage on there, and I think that might have been a stamp actually, a postage stamp that got a bit ripped, so I salvaged the little birds out of it. Doily there, a couple of doilies. This is one of my doilies that I scanned and I printed out because it's such a pretty doily, so I wanted to keep it. Some dictionary paper and flashcard, and I love this stamp. I'm using that quite a lot there now. Love how this turned out, and the little dangles, and there's the other bit of that doily. It's got a bit of an oriental theme happening there, so yeah, I was really pleased with this. This is a stamp that I got made up, from somebody in Etsy, and it came all the way from Ireland, I believe. So if anyone's interested, I can certainly put a link to the shop where I ordered that from. I was playing around with it and I embossed that. So I put a little button and just a little bit of fabric there. And a bit of ruffling on the edge of the paper. Sort of quite mastered it by the end of this book. My little process for that. I was really pleased with how this turned out. That's a little corner tuck spot and just some decoupage on the paper there. And I make up, I made these up, a bit of information about the sari silk and just a little bit of history about it. So a little bit of a tuck spot there. This is a little pocket, like one of those coin. I think I got this in some Happy Mail actually, and just a little bit of journaling card in there. And I did some decoupage and just put a bit of lace and washi. Where did that come from? We went through all of this, didn't we? Oh, that was the... Where were we up to there? That's where we were. Okay, stick that one back in there. Okay. I was quite lucky and I scored myself finally a set of like a dictionary with pictures in it. And I just took out one of these pages when I was flicking through. I thought, oh, I'll stick that in there. It's pretty. And another journal card. Alright, it's a bit awkward. There we go, stick that in there. And it's just some tags and some just little bird thing, little post-it notes, bits of paper that I had. So I just thought I'll put those in there as well, just for some journaling spot. Ah, gosh, getting there. There we go. And that's a tag there. Some stamping that I did. And then we're on to the final signature. I just put that, it's a little wooden tag in there with a little owl. I'll put that in there. And it's another one, another tag that I made quite a long time ago. Probably about a year ago I made that actually. Still got quite a few of them left. And a little side tuck there. And some vintage book paper. Love these ones. Little ducks, little water birds. These are plates from a, you know, like a British birds type book. So coming to the end. So glad it's all done. We can move on to another project now. That's a little owl charm there. And a bit of ruffling and lace on the edge there. So a few more, a bit of ledger paper. Doily, and there's another one of those corner tuck spots, so just a little bit of book page and some decoupage and some lovely tea stained paper. Pattern's quite nice on that page, and on the back of it is some, like, you know, just some digital download paper, a little bit of lace on the edge there, and that's it. So thank you very much. I'll put the closure on that, and I'll let my friend know that it's all finished, and move on to my next one. Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much. Bye.